Hey everybody, it's me Pluto. Today I'm going to be commentating Everett's interpretation from Integration of Fragments Append. So first up, let's explain what is Integration of Fragments Append. So when you download Integration of Fragments 1.0, there's two files. The first file, well, there's more than two files, but there's two Z64 files. The first one is the main game, which has 182 stars. The second one is a locked file that you need to gain a password to. The password is located by beating Bowser 3. Once you get the password, you can then open up a new file which contains 14 additional stars. This is the first level in that second file, which is known as Integration of Fragments Append. If this level looks familiar to people who have seen IoF, well, for one, it's very clearly a Joy or Sorrow reference, and number two, it's based on Course 8 of IoF, which was a Toasted Coast reference, so the buffed version is the Joy or Sorrow version. The stage is pretty interesting. It's got some fun stuff. I personally enjoyed it a lot. It has some stuff that is disagreeable on a moral level. No, I'm just kidding. This level is morally good, but it has some stuff that I'm not sure I agree with, but it's definitely that's a fun stage, in my opinion. One thing you might have noticed already is that the stage has a lot of slopes. Get used to it is all I can really say. There's a lot of them, so. So coming up here, there is well, first up, there's this red coin. There's 20 red coins. I did skip some of them at the beginning, and if you don't know why by now, you clearly have not seen a star for reclimb in it. It's a small reclimb, but it'll seem long because we get some reds during it that we skipped. So this wall kick section here, it's actually impossible to do it the intended way in this version. Well, this red coin and stuff is fine. I mean, that red coin's fucking brutal, but in the distance you can see a bunch of stray walls there. There's supposed to be like a tricky invisible wall kick section. It just doesn't exist in this version. There's just no walls there. And because of that, it's actually impossible to take the normal route in this version. I know Raimu has a version where you can do that. I'm saying the word version a lot. But me and I think also Katse did not have that version, so we had to play on this version, which honestly doesn't make that part harder, but it does make one part harder. And yeah, you'll see that when we get to it. I think it mostly affects the normal stars because it makes them kind of weird. So here we have this little arch section. I spend a very long time here, don't worry about it. Arches are hard, man. Specifically on this one because it's time dependent. You want to get up here as quick as possible because you have a metal cap and these are kind of time tight. So you want to have as much time as possible to be able to, do the thing. So I do spend a lot of time fucking around here. So now would be a good time to talk about the difficulty of Star. The Star took 2 hours, well, a little under 2 hours of attempts. It took a 1 hour 20-minute session and a 30-minute session to get, and I think the rest of the stars also took like 2 hours or something. So, not very long in terms of time, and that may seem a bit odd because there's stars that have taken me longer than that, or you might think have taken longer than that I didn't upload, and you'd be right. C13 reds, C14 reds, and C15 reds all took longer than this, and I'm not uploading those. The main reason why I'm uploading this is because, I think that the star is actually harder than those because those stars only take longer because they have a lot of filler stuff. Or not filler, just things that are relatively easy that you won't die on as much, which makes it that way you're spending a lot of time doing easy stuff to get to the hard bits. Like C15, I had just generally like an hour where I died to the last where I only did like a few attempts because I died to the final section like 3 times. And that takes an hour because the red coin star is so long, The second reason why I'm uploading this, instead of those stars, is just because I think this one is more interesting. I think it's a cooler star. I like it, and I just wanted to show it. I mean, yeah, simple reason, but I was thinking like, hey, I'm gonna upload C14 reds because Raimu doesn't have it, and then he got it, and then I realized I had nothing to say about it. So it's like, well, fuck, what am I gonna do? And then C15 Reds, I'm like, okay, for sure, I'm gonna upload this at C15 Reds, and I saw it, I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna say about this level? You know, it's like, fuck, man. So I just like, fuck it, man. I don't have videos of those. Did I do them? Yeah, I did. But do I have proof of it? No. My video, my stars are in an endless limbo for which you will never escape. So there we had a little bit of a trick. I did a C up slide, which is when you press C up going down a slope to gain a bunch of speed. I'm also holding neutral here to maintain as much speed as possible, because if I held a direction I would actually lose speed. So 2 pretty interesting techs in a row. Okay, so now we're gonna do that cheese I mentioned to skip the invisible wall kick section. We're actually gonna do a 2-for-1 cheese, because in this version there's a metal cap box that's supposed to be there, but doesn't exist, so we have to use this one, which is quite difficult. You need to be pretty precise here. There's a lot to explain here. Here, I just skipped so many invisible walls. There's like, to get around this, you have to like get around like a bunch of invisible walls. There I hit a ceiling, which would normally make me go back and get another metal cap because it would be too slow. But because I didn't ledge grab after doing the initial arch, it didn't matter, so I went along with it anyways. There's normally supposed to be a metal cap box right when I started that sentence above Mario, but here it only appears, in this version at least, it only appears in Act 6, and it's impossible to get to Act 6 in the stage because there's no stage to select Act 6 in to be able to do that. So, simply just can't do it. Unfortunately. That being said, we're gonna move on to some trickier parts of the level. First, we have some slope jumps. I've talked about slope jumps. It's worth mentioning that these slopes are not slippery. So jumping off them is quite easy, but as a trade-off for that, the space where you can jump off them is quite small, so you need to be quite careful. Quite. Then here I just do a little triple jump maneuver. Boom. Instead of going back on the slopes, also you can just do a chain long jump to make it back to the mainland. Okay, so here we have a bit of an interesting slope jump. Slopes, they eat your inputs, and by your inputs I mean your jumps. I pause there and go neutral for 2 purposes. The neutral is to make me less likely to have my triple jump eaten by the slope, and then the pause is to check if I was eaten by the slope, so that way I can just start holding into the slope and turn around to get back to safe ground. It's the safest way to do these jumps off slopes, and it's really the only way to consistently do it without running the risk of just getting absolutely fucking destroyed. By the way, in case you're wondering what the single coin is, this level has 5 secrets, so yeah. Here we have a bit of an interesting section. I actually liked it a lot. Well, not a, well, like, it's not like this part isn't super interesting, but like the way you get back is kind of interesting. Here we want to get back in the little circle, but it seems quite difficult. But triple jump dive, and there's a patch of lava so you can change your angle. I just think that's a pretty cool idea. So we have a little wall kick tunnel here, which means that, you know, we're going to be wall kicking off walls, and they're going to be changing our angles. This one, however, is very short and simple. Just come in with this type of angle, and you can get a very strong angle on this wall, and then you can completely straighten out on this wall. You just need to get pretty close to the top there to not dive quicksand. There I was very risky and honestly should have died there, but I didn't. Get the red that is very secretive, and come over here. So it's worth noting that I do not have, the raw footage of this is unlisted and uploaded on YouTube, but I won't link it in this video. The reason was because I got the star in a VC with a friend, and we were talking about some pretty personal subjects, which is, you know, not really something that I would like to super publicize. It does exist, and if like someone is like begging me for it, like I'll give it to them, but it will not be made like you know, it won't be linked in this video. It won't be super public, but rest assured that it does exist. Nice ground pound. Alright, so pretty tricky chain long jump here. You can't ledge grab this, it's actual ground, so you need to land in that little margin. It seems really difficult, but it's actually, like, I never really died to it. Just like, you know, I guess it is precise in its nature, but I don't really think it's hard. It's precise, I guess, if that makes sense. Chain long jumps tend to be pretty not too hard jumps, in my opinion, or at least safe jumps, because you can like choose the terms for which you can like where you continue with them. So if you're just not confident, you can just go with them. Of course, you know, there's the infamous, or maybe not infamous, but there's the RR chain long jump before thins that just fucked up some attempts, man. God, thinking about RR is like thinking about like fucking, oh my god, that level fucked me up, man. That level's so hard. It's weird because like RR I think about like so brutally, because like I loved the grind because I loved like I loved talking to people like about it. Like I loved the streaming aspect. I loved the talking to friends. I loved the excitement afterwards. But actual RR Reds, dude, that star is holy shit. Like I would be able to do it without all those things, but it would certainly be a more difficult grind for sure, dude. Streaming is what made RR Reds like so much more doable than it would have been otherwise. Anyways, now would be a good time to talk about crashes. This stage has a bit of a crashing issue. There's one place where I was able to get consistent crashes, and two places where I got one crash and then never again. The first one was the arch with like the metal cap stuff, and then the second one was where I just got that last red coin. I don't know, it didn't crash in an attempt, mind you. It crashed in practice, but still, I guess that's worth noting. I don't know what causes the stage to crash. I just tried to get all the objects off screen so that way it wouldn't crash. I don't know if that helped at all, but the stage does seem to crash whenever it wants. I really don't know why it does, but yeah. Also, this is probably the hardest jump in the stage. It's a precise wall kick section, but what's difficult about it isn't the precise wall kicks, it's the ending. This jump is stupid without a first E, so just go for a first E. I was pretty sloppy, but still made it, so. There. And pretty scary jumps here. Yeah, the stage is a lot about like confidence, honestly. You need to be confident in your ability to do a lot of the sections, and you can't you can't just like back out of like a jump. Like when you do a jump on the stage, you just have to commit to it. So really, like my biggest advice for this stage is just be confident. You can't be scared that you're not going to make the jump, because that's what's going to cause you to fail the jump. And I believe that more than most stages, because like that's already like good advice in general. Just like don't be scared of fucking up a jump, but it especially rings true in this stage. So here, upcoming here, there's going to be a couple stutters in the recording, like that. That's just an encoding thing from OBS. At least it should be. I record at very high settings, 1080p at 6,000 bitrate, very excessive. It's also worth noting that I was Discord streaming at the time. Discord streaming is kind of brutal on PCs for some reason. I don't know why. And on top of that, I need to clean my PC, which I'm going to do today, by the way. It's not like super dirty or anything. It's just a bit dusty, and I think that might be hurting some performance a little bit. So would like to clean that. But I might also lower some settings or like tweak some things. Maybe download the newest version of OBS. I've been procrastinating, and see if that improves those little stutters. I'm really sorry about that, but nothing I can do about it. It's already happened. But hope it doesn't bother anyone too much. There's another one. So we're back to the beginning of the stage where there's some reds that we skipped. Some little lava bars here. This reminds me of the C13 in Treasure World. I imagine you guys, or I imagine a lot of people will know what I'm talking about, but there's the one like really hard jump in that stage that everyone struggles with. That's what I love about Treasure World. I feel like Treasure World is such a universal experience. Like, I feel like so many people have played Treasure World that you can just talk about Treasure World levels and, like, people will know what you're talking about. And that's, like, a really fun feeling just to, like, have, like, that kind of, like, harmonization, I guess. Of just being able to just, like, talk about something and boom, people know what it is. I don't know. Yeah. I'm just happy Treasure World is as popular as it is because I think the game is so cool. In case you don't know this, because I didn't for a very long time, Bob-ombs continue moving the direction they were going once they get close enough to Mario. So that means that you just need to pay attention for when the Bob-omb's going away from you and then jump, so that way it'll continue going away from you. Right. Tricky wall kick section here. Mostly because this Kuromame is very awkward. Want to get a second frame there so you can get up this ledge. All this is mostly the same as the beginning of the stage, so nothing super duper interesting. Alright, so we're coming up on the last red here, which is the last, like, new thing in the stage. It's a pretty tricky red. It's probably the hardest one that I skip, honestly. But still, nothing too special, so... So yeah, thoughts on the stage? I think the stage was pretty fun. Like, I really enjoyed playing it. Especially, like, you know, hanging out with friends while doing it, you know, it's always lovely. But, like, I don't know. This game is fun, man. Like, I had my criticism about this game, and when I upload my final video for this game, I'll talk more about, like, how I feel about it. But I gotta say, I really like this game. Like, I really like a lot of the levels in it. I like the effort that was put into it. I like how unique it is. This hack is unlike anything I've ever played before. And I know I'm calling Append and the main game one hack, but they kind of are. I know some people will see it differently, but whatever. What can you do? Yeah. Spawning the star there. Red coin stars spawn, I think it's 4 frames after you touch the last red coin, which means that in that 4-frame window I can do a jump to make sure I'm not completely fucked when the star spawns. Yeah, but I don't know. Oh yeah, so one more thing I want to talk about. I got Hollow Knight yesterday, and I played it, and oh my god, that game is good. I should mention I have played Hollow Knight before. I've almost beaten it on Switch, but I wanted to get it on PC because, you know, PC is my preferred platform, and, you know, the game obviously runs better on a PC compared to a Nintendo Switch. And oh my god, I forgot how just fun the game is. Like, the pure gameplay is just fun. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of those people who likes restarting games because I think, like, the first, like, few hours of a game are, like, the best part when you're all weak and you're getting, like, new abilities. I don't know, I just love that, like, initial sense of progression. But regardless, that's a conversation for another day. We're coming up at the end of the star, so let's switch to the raw audio. Hope you all enjoyed the commentary, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. That was a fun one. Let's go. Wait, no crash, no crash? No crash? Let's go, no crash.
Good job, buddy.
Haha, I knew I had it in me. I knew I had it in my ironclad bones!
Your bones.
Why are my bones ironclad? I don't know. Anyways, with Everett's interpretation done, there are 2 more levels in IoF Append and IoF main game combined. The first one is integration of fragments.
But didn't you already...
But this bad boy will wait for later, because what I really want to do next... Also, this is the wrong Star Display layout. Let me show you just the real one, just for the video.
You know, I thought that integration of fragments got turned into fragments of treasure. I never realized there were separate stages. It's
Nope.
cool.
Of course, there another big boy waiting on the cusp. And it is you, Soldier Boy.
It's you, Seto Kaiba.
Alright, tomorrow I'll start the grind for Gate of Evil.
That's exciting.
I'll probably run through it with states, and then see what I need to practice.
Can I watch that? Can I watch that? I want to watch that.
If you're awake.
I'll try to be awake.
Alright, I might delay playing just so I can do it when you're awake. I might play Hollow Knight while you're gone.
Or you could do IoF. I don't know. I just really like seeing the going over the stage with states part. But you could do that. You could do that with but I mean, I don't know. But I also don't want to be playing you.
Yeah.
And you have a busy schedule.
Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna end recording.
Okay. I have an instinct to see like bye bye, but like I'm still gonna be in Call of Duty.